YouTube. Oh, you know what? I have the wrong lower third. I'm Matt Haas. This is not Piano Awesome. This is All Things YouTube. Welcome to another 5-minute, approximately, session where you can ask me anything. Ask me anything about the YouTubes or ask me anything about anything that you want. I see Brenda G's Designs is here. Hello, Brenda G's Designs. And let me rearrange this a little bit. Just a little too far to the edge. And Studio Geek 32 is back. His question, why did you end the live stream so fast? Well, I'm doing some consulting for Football is Life, and we were supposed to do a recording with a guest, a movie star, essentially. And 4 o'clock came and went, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to leave everything open. I'm going to go make dinner. Text me if he comes back on. So I go made dinner, came back up. It was 5:30. Got on my stream here, and then the guy walks into the room and says, I'm ready to go. So I had to quick end my stream and then do the recording for this movie star, essentially. Yeah, I have a consulting gig with Football is Life. My friend Willie. Portal Woodworks is here. He says, howdy, howdy, Portal Woodworks. All right. Brenda was trying to stump me with these answers. Trying to stump me with these questions. And now she's got another one. 2 sports cars are 675 miles apart and traveling towards each other. The first is going 65. The second is going 85. How many hours will it be before the 2 cars meet? How many hours will it be before the 2 cars meet? 4.5. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. When you said that, I just joined. Was that on yesterday's show? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the idea is I will answer questions until I run out of questions, and then I'll close the stream. It could be 5 minutes or it could be longer. I think I had answered all the questions at the time that I had jumped off yesterday, but yeah, I mean that's the way it is. Oh, you like my piano video? Thank you. I did just publish a video on Piano Awesome. You know, there's another YouTube channel called Piano Awesome that I have. It is Careless Whisper by George Michael, and if you want to see me play that song and get teleported back to the 80s so you can slow dance with your honey, come on over there. Brenda G. Kind of got quiet there. Did I make you become quiet? I didn't think that was possible. What video editor do you use? Final Cut Pro. I was iMovie, but then I started doing a show with 2 other co-hosts, and we would record our video on our DSLRs, and they would send me the video, and I would splice them together. And when I was splicing them together, iMovie lets you have the base footage and then one element over top, like a graphic or another video that you can crop down. It couldn't let you have 3, and we were 3 hosts. So I had to go to Final Cut Pro X in order to have multiple objects on top of the timeline. What I was doing in iMovie is I was compositing 2 of us, and then I would rip that down to a .mov file, a video file, start a new iMovie, bring that double in, and then add the third. Like it was too crazy, so I had to spend the $300 to buy Final Cut Pro X, and now I'm using Final Cut Pro X. I use Final Cut Pro X too. Good. I am still waiting for Awesome Sax channel. Imagine the people who will click when they misread the name. Awesome Sax. I like that. I can edit very fast in Final Cut Pro X. So can I. Do you know what I like about Final Cut Pro X? It doesn't crash. I was watching a YouTuber and they're like, oh my God, the new Adobe Premiere crashes way less than it used to. And I'm like, mine doesn't crash at all. I think Final Cut Pro crashed one time ever. LOL. Matt got the correct answer. Did you come up with an answer? All I had was a big buffer here. I did. I said 4.5 hours was my answer, Brenda. Did everyone finish their Makers Rock videos? Says Dave Hart. Hi, Dave Hart. Thanks for joining the 5-minute Ask Me Anything session. 5 minute or longer. Well, every year someone will have an incomplete, but that's fine. I mean, so no, not everyone finished it, but those that did, and those that didn't. It's all good. We get it. It's all about fun. It's about fun. So, I mean, if you're having fun, you're having fun. If you can't do it, you can't do it. The question is, he didn't ask this question. Should there be a Makers Rock 2021? That's the question. You let me know what you think about that one. What keyboard do you use? Now, I am very particular about my peripherals. I use a very old Apple, here, I'll get it for you. Apple wired USB keyboard with the extended number pad. This isn't wireless, and it's the white. You know what? I think that's the best keyboard ever. I love it so much. I bought 2 of them. And I can fly. I can fly on that keyboard. I mean, it takes a beating, and it will not die. And it has the right amount of travel, and it's not mushy, and it's not mushy, and it's not clicky. It's sort of, it's half mushy, half clicky. I love it. I love it. When did you get the Canon T2i? I was going to say I should probably look in my Amazon history. Let me look on my Amazon history. I'm going to say 8 years ago, but it's probably longer than that. Let me see. Canon T2i. There it is. October 1, 2010. October 1, 2010. 9 years, 9.5. A little more than 9.5 years ago, I got my Canon T2i. That's this camera that I'm on right now. I'm still working on my 2018 Makers Rock album. Well, David, if it takes me 504 days to deliver a package to someone, you can certainly be working on a Makers Rock album since 2018. All good, brother. I love that keyboard. I have a lot of them. Cool. What music keyboard do you use? Oh, okay. This is the low-end Yamaha 88-key weighted keyboard, and it is model P71. P71. Yeah, this keyboard, I think it's got 128 notes that can be played simultaneously. So if you hold down a note and keep the sustain pedal down and it's still sounding, because when you let up, the sound continues, and you hit a second note, that counts as 2. So if you're doing the sustain pedal and you're banging on it, you're adding up all those. You can, so the predecessor to this one had 64 simultaneous notes. This one has 128 simultaneous notes. So it's the Yamaha P71. And again, it's the low end. The model higher has more features for like stage performances, and I think it goes to 256 simultaneous notes. But there's a $250,000 Yamaha grand piano was recorded for the notes. So when you play these notes, it sounds like a $250,000 Yamaha grand piano. That's perfectly in tune. Why do we dream? Why do we dream? I think because we have to. Our brains would explode. 2010. Wow. Yeah. 10-year-old camera. And I tell you what, man, everything is a problem on that camera except video and picture quality. It has never faltered. Not ever. The audio input jack, complete garbage. The flash, the pop-up flash, soda was spilled into it and it doesn't pop up. You have to get your fingernail underneath and pop it up. All of the rubber fell off from just using it too much. I did glue the one rubber back on, but the other rubber pad is off. I ripped the door off the side, the door that has the USB, HDMI, and the audio input. It has a little rubber door. I took a knife and I sliced that off. Yeah. It fell forward on the tripod, and a piece of plastic on the lens broke off, but the lens is fine. But yeah, shooting pictures, flawless. Capturing video, flawless. Everything else on the camera is just about ready to screw the pooch. Oh. Just in my studio, I have 5 music keyboards, and I have more in the house. Awesome, Sammy. Good on ya. Little entertainer there, aren't ya? Harneal Media's here. Hi, Mr. Steve. Steve Nealon. It's Mark Lindsay CNC is here. He says, howdy, Steve. Why does my hand sanitizer taste like whiskey? Hand sanitizer does contain a very high amount of alcohol. I hear stories. There was a story of an alcoholic that was in the hospital and, thought she was okay. She drank the hand sanitizer to get drunk. And her blood alcohol level was like, I don't know how she survived. They pumped her stomach and she survived. You're washing your hands with the wrong bottle, David. There you go, Mark. Mark has the best answers. Why aren't you my co-host, Mark? you got the best responses. Out of all the other candidates, why should we hire you? Because I'm relentless. I get the job done no matter what. I used to light our pellet stove with hand sanitizer. Oh, wow. Wow. I used to light things on fire with the Canadian whiskey Yukon Jack. Yukon Jack. You know that stuff? Man, that'll put hair on your chest. Who told you about Ecamm Live? Well, Sammy, I think you get some credit for that. Because I didn't know how to do the pop-ups. Or these comments. I didn't know how to display a single comment on the screen. And OBS Studio could not do it. It would not do it. No amount of third-party integration would do it. And you said use Ecamm Live, and I'm like, no, I don't want to use another streaming software. I want OBS Studio to do it. And then I started, then Loria and David on Live Streaming Pros were talking about it. Well, mostly Loria, because David's all in on vMix. And so I think it was a combination of you and the Live Streaming Pros channel. Yeah. I know the answer, Dave. Question I had at an interview. Why is a manhole cover round? Because a circle is the only shape that cannot collapse in on itself. So if you had a square manhole circle like this, take this Brenda G's design sticker, for example, a square can go diagonal and fall through itself. Can't do that with a circle. Similarly, a sphere casts the same shadow no matter where your light source is. There you go. Shapes are fun. Spheres, cubes, tetrahedrons, octahedrons, dodecahedrons, icosahedrons. I dig them. Why is it that everyone I ask a question, YouTube goes into a buffer until I miss the answer? I don't know what's happening. I think everyone is overusing the internet right now. Exactly right, Matt. Ding, ding, ding. See, sometimes I'm as smart as Mark Lindsay. I don't think I've ever been smarter than Mark Lindsay, but sometimes I'm as smart, and I take that as a win. Studio Geek 32, I used to intern at a studio. We had a 48-track board with lots of keyboards, MIDI controllers. Wow. I had I own a 4-track board. It's probably in that closet. 4 XLR in, and then 4 other miscellaneous types in a soundboard. But they're kind of daunting. Yeah, they're hard to figure out. I needed to do it because at the time I was taking 2 Skype chats and merging them together and getting the audio routed properly from 2 different computers, and I needed a soundboard. Yeah, Leo Laporte did that. Leo Laporte has a podcast called The Tech Guy, and TWIT, which stands for This Week in Tech, and a bunch of other This Week in Google. And he explained how to essentially do Google Hangouts or StreamYard or Zoom before any of those things were a real product. You could do it with multiple computers and multiple Skype instances, and then you could capture each audio separately and merge the audio together on the outgoing stream. And, he called it Skypeosaurus. He actually built a tower, not a tower, but a rack. He had like a rack, and he had Mac Minis in there, and he had 8 Mac Minis, and each Mac Mini had a separate Skype guest on it. And then the way he would cobble it together with the soundboard, he had a larger soundboard, is you would, and I remember mix minus. Do you know what that means, mix minus? I barely remember, but it's a term when you're dealing with soundboards. And you could do a video show and with audio, or just an audio show with all of those Skypes, and it sounds like the person's in the other room. Like the internet is wonderful for pushing audio, and it was so popular. All the channels called him, MSNBC, CNN, Fox. They're like, tell us how to build Skypeosaurus. So he gave the diagram out, and it was with the tracks, the tracks. Okay, if you really think I'm that smart, we got to increase the diameter of your circle of influence. Well, I'll tell you what. My claim to fame was I was as smart as the Google director for the books division, because Google, they've got Gmail, they've got Docs, they've got the Play Store, and they've got Google Books. Books is a product. Anyway, I was on a conference call, and Google was part of the conference. This was on the W3C. It was on the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium working on the EPUB file format standard, and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, we need to solve this problem. And someone on the call said, I think it's A. I'll just, for speed, I'll just say, A is my idea. And you could hear the rumblings. No, A's not. A's not. Another person said, I think it's B. And you hear rumblings. No, B's not perfect either. And I was like, I got the answer. And I came off mute. I said, I think it's C. And the guy from Google said, yeah, I agree with Matt. I just couldn't get off of mute fast enough. So for one brief moment, I was as smart as one of the smartest people at Google. I wasn't smarter than him. I was as smart for one brief, and I was half a second faster on the telephone skills. That's my claim to fame. On the human body, why is the playground located right next to the sewage center? You'll have to ask the higher power for that one. I know mix minus. Yeah. See, you're way above my pay grade, says Mark Lindsay. I don't know, Mark. Don't sell yourself short, buddy. You're wicked smart. When I was 2 years old, I learned GarageBand. That was in 2006. GarageBand is... it's always been difficult for me to grasp that application. It's just all the different rows and things just never really. I mean, I can do it. It was a difficult app to really get my head around. All right. Keep the questions coming, or we'll shut the stream down, and we'll be back tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Now I use Logic Pro X. Yeah. A lot of people use the free one. What's the free one? Not Audition, Audacity. I know Leo Laporte, who's been doing podcasts for 15 freaking years. All the mics ripped down to the freeware. Free. You can't even pay for it. Audition. No, which one's Adobe? Adobe's Audition. Audacity. Audacity is the free one, I think. Wait, you were 2 years old in 2016? Criminy, I'm old. Don't take any wooden tacos. Night all. Duly noted, Dave Hart. Thanks for stopping by. I use Audacity. It works very well. Yeah. I needed to use Audacity. That's the free one, right? To make my Dalek voice. I learned how to manipulate audio programs to make yourself sound like a Dalek, and you had to use Audacity for that. At what point did time begin? 14.5 billion years ago, when the Big Bang happened. That's when time started. Audacity is the free one, yes. Good. Yep. Yeah, thankfully, my audio experience, I take the audio and it goes into Final Cut Pro. And Final Cut Pro actually has some pretty sophisticated audio features. It's kind of like a little GarageBand in Final Cut. Now, I can't do everything, but it could certainly do more than enough. And compressor. I love the compressor feature of Final Cut Pro. That's the video editing program. Whatever audio you have, you hit it with the compressor option, and it magically sounds better. It sounds like this when you first record it, and when you hit it with compressor, it sounds like this. Oh, yeah. I said on a previous 5-minute stream that I'm learning how to set the audio settings in the compressor. I don't know what you call it, space. The compressor feature has about 20 different options. It's pretty cool. Did time exist before the universe was created, or did that come later? It came at the moment of the Big Bang. There was no time or space before the Big Bang, and then after the Big Bang, everything started. Time and space. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it. I edit our podcast and all of the audio for my videos on Audacity. It's awesome. Yeah, it's rock stable. I mean, it's been around forever and it's been free forever. And is it? I wonder is it? This is probably too in the weeds. Is it owned by a committee of volunteers, or is it owned by a corporation that made it free? I suspect that there's a whole group of people banging away at Audacity, making it perfect and free. I think, that's what I suspect. Does time only flow forward, or are there exceptions? Forward. It flows forward. Yeah, and it's linked to space. The term space time, it's not two different things. Space time is one thing. Space and time is the same thing. And I think you can peer forward and you can jump forward, but you can't go back. I don't think you can go back. What is your recipe for tacos? I love them all, baby. I love them all. All Mexican food is just the same 9 ingredients. It's like beef, it's chicken, it's tortillas, it's taco shells, it's sour cream, lettuce, tomato, salsa, corn, refried beans, and it's all the different food items are just stacked differently. Oh, that's a chalupa. Stack it differently. Oh, that's a chimichanga. Stack it differently. That's a taco. Stack it differently. That's a burrito. I love Mexican food. Recommended viewing. History of the Entire World, I guess, by Bill Wirtz. Yeah. It's here on YouTube and it's flipping amazing. Yes. I saw a documentary on just that dude, and he's nuts, man. He is like a bookworm, and he works on those videos for years. He also did the history of Japan, and he did like, yeah, history of the universe is crazy. It's like the sun was a deadly laser, and then it's like 500 million years later, it says, oh, now it's okay. and then little creatures come up on land because there's no plants, there's nothing to eat here, and they go back in the water 500 million years later. Oh, now there's plants and stuff. Bill Wirtz is the bomb, an amazing guy. Yeah. What is a bookworm? I don't know. It's like a history buff. He's just one of those people who love history, and he researches these big topics and then explains them in an animation with humor. You just got to watch it. That's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. All right, I think I'm going to wrap this up. The wife said 25 minutes ago dinner was ready, so I'm foregoing dinner for 25 minutes for everybody. Wrong. Uh-oh. Well, guess I can't always be right. All right, everyone. I am going to head out. Why did you get a Canon T2i? I took a photography course. I took 10 hours of instruction at the local camera store, and I attempted to learn how to take good photos. And you needed a DSLR in order to take the class. Like, you couldn't take a point and shoot. Like, you needed a DSLR. So I bought the Canon T2i, and I took an instructor-led course on how to take good photos, and the T2i I bought, and it's been with me ever since. And I built an empire on top of it too. Beat the snot out of it. I'm telling you, my Canon is not a good-looking camera. It is used. It is used and abused. If we could make a map of the inside of the Earth, what would it look like? Dirt and lava. Must be pizza night if Matt's foregoing dinner. Nothing stops me from tacos. All right, people. I hope one of these sessions I get a YouTube question. But it's all good. What am I going to do? We're locked up. We're on lockdown. All right, stay safe, everyone. I'm going to go. It's Vienna sausage and Jello night at Matt's house. All right, people. Stay awesome. Find me on the interwebs. I'm not hard to find. Take care.